On June 5th, 1962, a comic book by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko called Amazing Fantasy number 15 introduced Spider-Man for the very first time. That was his first appearance, and this is that action figure based off of that first appearance. By Hasbro, this is the Marvel Legends Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man figure. It is part of the Beyond Amazing 60th anniversary of Spider-Man program that they have been doing for this year, of course, celebrating 60 years of Spider-Man. So on this side of the package, we get a digital render of the figure, while on the other side we get the art image of the Amazing Fantasy issue number 15 Spider-Man right there, which is cool. I like that art. On the back side, we get the figure with the accessories that he comes with, which seems like it's quite a bit. I know it's kind of surprising because we're not used to this anymore, but it is nice to see all of those accessories there. So first impressions, this figure looks really good out of the box. I'm liking what I'm seeing here so far. I'm seeing some pretty good clean paint. The deco of the lines is pretty clean, which is always nice. They tend to always do a good job when it comes to the line work on Spider-Man, although it may get sloppy every now and then. But so far, I'm seeing some pretty clean lines, so that's nice to see. So he comes packed in with a lot of hands here, which is nice. Out of the box, we have a right hand that is a web slinging hand and a left fist. Lately, they've been kind of doing that. I don't know why, but hey, it's whatever. They've been like having alternate different posed hands on the figure out of the package, when normally they would, they would always have fisted hands. But of course, we're gonna have the right fist, so you can have dual fist, and we're also gonna have the left web slinging hand, so you can have dual web slinging hands. On top of that, we will get some wall crawling hands, something that's always requested for Spider-Man, and obviously should always come with a Spider-Man figure, but doesn't always come with it, so we have to request it, and they are listening. So here it is, included with this Spidey. And then last but not least, we have our grabby hands to grab a web. So when he swings around, he can have something to grab that web with, and that web is right here. And it's nothing special. It's the same web line we've gotten, I think, for 10 years. I think this thing released in 2012, so it's been a long time, and it's the same one. So here it is. So we all know what that looks like. And then lastly, we get the web that goes underneath his armpits here, which was accurate to the first appearance of his suit. So we get this one here that's elongated a little. So this is when he has his arms spread. And then we have the one where you can have him pose with the arms down, and the webs are kind of just draping down here. So on the back of the figure, right on the tricep, we have a peg hole on each arm. That's where you will plug in these web effects. So there you go. And it's mainly to look at it from the front. So it's very subtle, but of course, to have his arms down, that looks good. And then the longer ones are a little bit more tricky to get on, but once you do, they look pretty decent. It's just very weird. It's gonna look weird from the back, but it's mainly to get it from this angle here, of course. But my arms look all weird right now. It's very tricky, and then they do fall off pretty easy if you move the arms around. So you just gotta have a lot of patience when you're messing with those those web effects that go on his arms. But it's pretty cool that we get two different versions there, and it's even more nice that it is indeed removable. The peg holes don't bother me too much; they're pretty well hidden as well. So while we're here, we'll take a closer look at Spidey. You can take a better look at that paint deco of the web lines on his torso. If I can get it to focus, there you go. And then his spider on his chest there, which is pretty big, but that's how it is in the first appearance of Spidey. There's the back. Get a little bit of red bleeding onto the what is that, black? It's not blue yet, so that very light black color. So as for the articulation, his head sits on a ball jointed hinge. So it goes up and it goes down. I also really do like the head sculpt. I don't think I mentioned the head sculpt, but that is a new head sculpt, and that looks very nice, very classic. That's that Steve Ditko design right there for sure. Left and right, up and down, no problems. So since it's a ball jointed hinge, you won't get the head tilting so much on this, unfortunately. The arms will go up, all the way up, and then in and out to a certain point. You might want to maybe twist the shoulder, and then you can kind of get it out there a little bit more. We also do get the butterfly joints that go back and forward, bicep swivels, double jointed pinless elbows, swivel at the wrist with a hinge. We have an ab crunch and diaphragm joint combo here, which is always nice for Spidey. So the lower ab crunch goes forward and back pretty deep, and there is no waist swivel, but the swivel will be at the torso there at the diaphragm joint. There's tilting and then forward and back, of course. Legs will kick forward about that far. They go back down, in and out. Thigh swivels, double jointed knees, kicks all the way back. And then we have a shin boot cut right here. Ankle hinge, and then the ankle rocker at the foot. No toe hinge, guys. And also pinless knees, so that's nice to see. So here's a look at him next to the retro vintage carded Spider-Man figure. So you can see here that the first appearance stands slightly shorter than the retro vintage version. This one stands exactly at 6 inches, while the retro vintage stands a little over 6 inches tall. So very subtle, very small, nothing major, but it is enough to see a difference. And there's a quick side-by-side next to the original Pizza Spidey here with just a 3D printed effect there. Those are made by Slide Effects. You can look them up on Instagram in case you're curious. Here's one of the more recent releases. This is the Stealth Suit Future Foundation Spidey. And then just to get some villains into the mix, we have the retro vintage card Green Goblin. So overall, I'm pretty happy with this figure. I think it looks great. It's a nice representation of the first appearance Spidey from that issue number 15 of Amazing Fantasy. I think it looks great. The head sculpt is spot on, and overall, I'm really, really happy with the outcome on this figure. Overall, for the most part, the Beyond Amazing 60th anniversary of Spider-Man has been really, really good. It's been really fun. A lot of these figures have been coming out very, very nice. There has been a few that have been a little iffy, but for the most part, they have been some of the best Spider-Man figures that we've gotten so far. So it's nice to see this. It's nice to see the first appearance done so well. And I look forward to see what you guys have to say about it. Let me know down below in the comment section. And also while you're down there, hit that like button and consider subscribing if you have not done so already. As always, everyone, take care, take it easy, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.